Today we are going to discuss differences in culture, in two cultures, Russian culture and Congo's culture, right?
Yeah, Congolese culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and before we start, I want you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Mani. I'm from Congo, like Democratic Republic of Congo, and I'm a PhD student at the University of Tsukuba.
And the first question, in my opinion, will be easy. How people greet each other in Congo?
Yeah, you just stretch out your hands to your friend or anyone, and this way, like by stretching your hands like this, right? But you cannot stretch out your hands if the person who is in front of you is in a higher position than you. So he should be the first to stretch out his hand before you do it. Like if you are my professor and then I'm a student, when we meet, I can say hi, but I cannot stretch out my hands first. You should be the one to stretch out your hand first, because we consider it not polite if you start first.
Yeah. I think it's the same in our culture. I mean, we have the same. You cannot just stretch your hand with the professor or your boss.
Yeah.
So
I don't think the Japanese culture, they don't tend to shake hands, so not even to hug, you know. I don't think it's the same. They instead bow to each other in Japanese culture. Yeah.
if someone sneezes, we say "be healthy" instead of.
Okay.
So do you have the same in your culture?
I would say two things. The first one is ancestors' culture. They don't say anything. If someone sneezes, everybody keeps quiet. But in the recent colonization, we tend to say the same thing as Western people, because of, we were colonized by Belgium, so we can say something like that, equivalent to bless you.
For example, I mean, in French, right?
Yeah, in French, for example, in French, like
what do you say?
à tes souhaits. À tes souhaits.
At this way.
Yeah, yes.
And what does it mean?
Yeah, it's the meaning, like if someone sneezes, it's like bless you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same meaning.
If the traffic light is red, will you pass?
In my country, yes. Okay, in my country, if the traffic light is red, some people wouldn't care. They would cross, which is not the case in Japan, right? So people wait up until it turns green.
Even if there are no cars at all, they will wait. Like at night, I think, 2 a.m., they will stop and wait.
Yeah.
In Russian culture, everyone, I guess, will pass. Doesn't matter. Tricky question.
Okay.
How will you tell the guest that it's time for him to leave, or her to leave your place because you have other things to do? Want to rest, want to be alone. Now it's time to go home.
That's a very difficult question.
Yeah.
Because in my culture, to be honest, it is not considered polite to say to a guest in anyhow or not any form, like, it's time, like I have to do something else, unless it was planned beforehand, like he knew that you would be busy. We tend to give more honor to the guest and wait until he leaves.
But what if he or she doesn't understand that it's time for him to leave?
That's a difficult question. Maybe say it in a very polite way, not to hurt their feelings, right? Maybe bring up something like emergency. I don't know. What about
I think it's
culture?
the same. I mean, of course, it's impolite to say, "I'm sorry, you need to leave." It's better if you leave. I mean, but I think if it's my friend,
Yeah.
I could say, I'm sorry, but I have to go or to do something. I mean, and of course, the friend will understand.
Sure.
But if like there's a person you don't know well, you'll be waiting until this person will understand that it's time for him to leave you.
Yeah.
What is the most important holiday in Congo?
I would not say it on behalf of everyone. Maybe I would say it on behalf of myself. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So for me personally, the most important holiday is the Independence Day, which is June 30. That's when Congo became independent from Belgian colonization. So it's a sign of freedom for the country. So I consider that very crucial.
So do you celebrate it somehow?
Somehow, yes, we do, and we tend to watch a lot of videotapes that recorded those past moments.
Okay. Do you celebrate Happy New Year?
Yeah, we do. But that's more like when I was a kid. You know, things change pretty fast when you grow old. You don't celebrate it as much as you used when you were a child. So yeah, I would say it.
In Russian culture, I think the most popular and like for me important holiday is New Year. A lot of people are engaged in it, involved in it. So yeah, and we exchanging gifts and waiting for the hour, like to start the 1st of January. So it's very, very popular.
I see.
Maybe in some cultures it's not common to celebrate, but like all my friends, they think about how they are going to celebrate New Year month earlier, like with whom, where, something like that. So
I see.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And I like this holiday, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
A difficult question. Are women and men equal in Congo if we talk about job opportunities?
Yes, they are equal. I would say it without any hesitation, because companies in Congo, they tend to offer opportunities for all genders without any discrimination. So they have equal opportunities. It depends on people's skills. And of course, like before you get a job in my country, as in any other country, there is a long process to go through. So if you show to be deserving that position, because of your skills, of course you will get it. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl.
That's so cool that you can like 100% confident can say something like that. I mean the answer.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. What about Russia?
I don't know. I think mostly yes, it's like equal. But if we talk about higher positions, I mean managers, directors in Moscow, like yeah, it's a common thing that women, they are like controlling, managing. But in regions, if we see, like if we take a look at high positions and who take place in these positions, usually they are the men.
There is one thing to say about my country. Like if it's in terms of opportunities, they are equal. But in terms of the fraction of people occupying a certain position, like that one is not equal. And we should understand it, because girls in the past, they used to be deprived of education.
Yeah.
Like they had late education, you see. Like in my culture in the past, women used to be considered like to fit only in the kitchen, in the household tasks. But nowadays it's no more the case. Like they can go to school, be educated, and apply for better opportunities or any kind of opportunity. So in that aspect, so they have equal opportunities with boys. Like if all of them, like there is no discrimination in terms of gender.
Like, do people care about politics? I mean, not only in your country, but international. What is happening in other world?
Yeah, they do care a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I would say a lot. To be honest, I don't care a lot about politics, but people in my country, they consider political matters as part of their daily life. So young people especially, they are very involved in politics recently, especially
Really?
recently in my country, yes.
From what age?
18 or above, because you
Mhm.
considered an adult.
Yeah. I think we have the same. I mean, a lot of young people now, they care.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know a lot about that, but they care, really care. I mean, they use Instagram to post some things about politics.
Yeah.
So
I see.
they care.
So Instagram is the most used in terms of politics.
I think yes. I mean, of course, Twitter.
Yeah.
But I'm not into that culture, Twitter culture, so I
Okay.
don't know much about that. Maybe Twitter is more like common, but I have seen a lot of stories where people they share their opinions towards something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. In my country, I guess it's Twitter. Yeah, I guess it's Twitter. When it's
What about the rest of people, like who don't use smartphones a lot? How do they know the information? Where do they grab the
on
information?
television, maybe.
Television.
Yeah, they can. Or from mouth to mouth. Like if I was informed, I can inform my neighbors or my family,
Yeah.
or raise the issue somewhere, and people then just start talking about it. But also on the radio. Radio,
Radio?
yeah,
Really?
yeah. The radio is very like popular. For news, like, yeah.
What utensils do you use for eating, or do you use it? I just remember that we were talking about that.
Oh, interesting. It depends on what you're eating in my country, okay? If it's rice, well, of course, you're going to use a spoon. Yeah, but we have fufu, which is the most popular food. So we eat it with hands, right? So it's more of a cultural thing. The reason why we use hands to eat fufu, but we use the same utensils apart from hashi here in
Hashi,
Japan.
yeah.
Apart
Sticks,
from hashi,
chopsticks.
chopsticks. So yeah. What about Russia?
Yeah, we use spoon, of course,
Yeah.
because we have a soup culture.
Okay.
We use forks
Yeah.
and knives. I mean, this typical. Of course, when you eat Asian food, some people use chopsticks.
Yes.
Tell how many languages you know and speak.
In total, I think it's 5, but if you include basic Japanese that I know, it's 6. Apart from the official language, which is French. So we also have local languages, like national languages and also local languages. It's very common to see each tribe with a language. So we have a lot of dialect, to be honest, like more than 200 dialect. So personally, I speak 2 local, or let's say national languages, and official language, of course, which is French, used for administration, education, and everything else. And then I speak English, Spanish, and Nihongo Choto. Skoshi, hi.
I think that's all for questions. Maybe you can tell more about your country. I mean, if someone will ask you, what can you tell me about Congo? What would you tell?
Congo has the second largest rainforest of the world after Amazon. So I think in terms of clean air, Congo is one of the most enjoyable place, like in terms of the nature. People can go and visit, enjoy that green space, green nature. It's not very industrialized as other countries, as China, for example, or the United States or Russia. But because of the green space that we have, the largest, second largest in the world, I think it's still a place which offers a very clean environment. Yeah, so that one thing I would say about Congo.
I'm really interested now. Like, I remember that you told me before about that forest.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I like nature, so maybe
Yeah.
I should visit it.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.